Okay, we are live. It took me 4+ hours just to cover 7.4 kilometers, which is, oh my gosh. Okay, so the point is we are going to talk around LangChain, and particularly we would be focusing on the aspect of the DAO aspect. So, okay, so we will be focusing on the DAO aspect and the gaming aspect of how we are able to turn the table around and look at from the point of view to at least do the SWOT analysis and get to a figure where we can work together. I'll why it is okay. There was some kind of a glitch. Okay, anyhow, so the point is I'll put myself on mute. I'll start in a while. If you have any questions, put your questions in the comment box. We are just going to focus on the SJDs, and let's focus not only on 17 but focus on the 17 aspect because that will take care of the rest, which is very very important. Okay, we will be starting our discussion, or rather I just want to finish this up very quickly. I need to enter into another meeting. If you have any questions, put your questions in the comment box. And okay, I need to give some data sets. Let's talk about the data sets from the point of view of the code. Use LangChain first of all to code the code. Look into SortPot. Okay, Okay, so from the calculation point of view, when we are trying to code and solve the problem of carbon footprint, first we need to look into the aspect of carbon negative. Now, when I say being carbon negative, it is very important to understand and appreciate the fact that even to create this gaming platform which we are creating, which I already talked about yesterday, which is nature as a service, okay, nature as a service, that is NAS. Um, this has nothing to do with company names, the nomenclature of company names, trademarking, IPRs. What we are building, a part of the Impula network, which is not written in the application as file as patent, it is covering the natural aspects and the natural um, understanding of how the, I would rather say, the Milky Way works. It's very important to appreciate that and to understand that basics. It is very important to uh, the core group has to be carbon negative. When I say carbon negative, those people will be the main stakeholders in terms of they themselves have to be carbon negative, and like I'm one of them. I don't need to give my details in terms of how carbon negative I am, in terms of the kind of work I have been doing on a daily basis, apart from disposing the plastic, and then that is taken care by the aerocity people, GMR group. And it's not only one group, it's this whole aerocity is one big family. And that doesn't mean that only the aerocity Delhi, it means aerocity as a whole, in terms of whosoever are the stakeholders. So I'll give you some numbers, just look into it and see if something can be worked out. We have been talking about 14 trillion, and the stakeholders know what I have been talking about in terms of what I have been talking about. Um, Now, from the point of view of 14 trillion, out of this 14 trillion, 20% is the cut. Just give me a moment. I need to take this. So, out of this 14 trillion calculation, 20% is the cut, and the ESOP. Okay, where were we? ESOP. Okay, in this particular case, the ESOP for the time being is only 2 to 3%. and this is part of one of the subsidiaries. So what I'm talking about, 14 trillion is the subsidiary and the sister concerns. um, Parent company is still, okay, so parent company is still 14 trillion multiplied by 89, and this we are talking in stable coins. So the calculation and the MOUs and the distribution has to be done in this way. And then this ICO launch, which is happening for the 14 trillion, that is open to anyone and everyone. But the parent company that stays with the only the main stakeholders, the core group, that is not to be disclosed. Why I say so? Because when we are trying to understand ICO can be done in zillion ways. However, over the years, if you just look into the landscape, I was also part of the advisor of the ICO group based out in Australia, which was backed by government, and that is one reason, government is not backing the cryptocurrency, which in some way is very right, um, because still now, um, the problem statement which all these companies are solving, people don't know about it. I'll give you an example. What we are trying to do with the 14 trillion pot, which already has been raised, it's not that the raise is not there, because it is basically tokenization. It is the allocation of the tokens, which has been divided into the face value. So the face value of every token, you can just imagine what will be the face value when I'm talking about 14 trillion. And here, countries are involved. It is not individuals. These are the main countries for whom these tokens are being generated. And since at the end of the day, this is nothing but code, but the problem statement is the main crux which we need to resolve right now. That being said, when we are talking about this, carbon footprint, the speculation in this stuff has been that how we can use the gaming industry for sensitizing the folks in whatever age group they are. I'm not even getting into data set of, a particular age number, because with the utilization of real intelligence, one can reverse the age, and I'm a good example for this. In longevity and time biotech, 400 plus parameters are being taken for last so many years, and it has been done in that manner. So that is very much achievable. But to achieve that, there has been a lot of, scientific evidences and a lot of science involved in this. Not only the coding part, but the physical part, the personal part, the AI part, the real part, the EQ part, the IQ part, the framework part, the architectural part. So there's a lot of things. And the patent I had filed was actually just to, it was just a teaser. It is not that, the protection starts from that date. The protection starts from the date I don't even want to talk about it, because whatever I did was in the terms of defensive publication. So this is a kind of calculation for the carbon negative stuff, because we need to get Alibaba and of course SoftBank on board. So we need to get Alibaba and SoftBank on board for sure. And not only that, Nokia, Sony Ericsson. I'll just, for the time being, I'll just say Sony. And then there is, a lot of stuff around. Most folks don't understand it, because what happens is, or the pain point which US has been failing to solve is the outsourcing model. Because in the outsourcing model, though you are outsourcing XYZ stuff at any given point of time from A to Z, but you're at this end, in the related, I would rather say relative to the stuff, they have been cooking their own stuff, whether based out in India or based out in other countries, in terms of any of these platform as a service, this, that, and all that, I would say it has been, it's kind of a protein which is coagulated right now. That's the best way I can put forward, from the understanding point of view, how this can be challenged. overall, because um, the infra has been developed in the offline world. So if we talk about our nearby nations, whether it's China, Sri Lanka, Burma, Nipeto, I've been there. I've seen that place and I loved it. I mean, honestly speaking, when I was there, because I generally book my input and the output ticket together. Input means obviously, the day I enter and the day I get out of the particular time zone, because everywhere it is latitude and longitude. So geolocation is very important for me when I'm working on a timeline where we are trying to resolve so many pain points which are existing right now when we talk about the World Wide Web. So these are the few nuggets I wanted to give. Probably I'll just give two applications. You can just look into it. Probably once I'm done with my ongoing stuff, because due to NAS, which is Nature as a Service, um, I mean, for the very first time, I saw traffic in my life. That's okay. I had other things to do. I used my time to do the leisure stuff, and the point of contention here was what I feel is companies like Disney. How can they chime in here? Would be like I have been playing Disney games all my life. I mean, offline, online, using different platforms for different stuff. See, merchandising is one aspect, but um, rather than giving stable coins, I will be of the opinion, give people task. People includes anyone and everyone. Even the animals nowadays are very smart, so we can train the animals also just to create the data set. Give them the task. Once they're able to achieve the task, they should be rewarded. It's that simple. I mean, the input data has to be a reward. Now the point is, what the reward is all about is the question the stakeholders need to answer when they are trying to prepare something in the stuff. I was just going through the data set, and something very peculiar came into my, I would say, cognizance. I mean, you have to go to CBSE. Okay, let's go to CBSE board. I still think this board still exists in India. It's central board. So in CBSE till 10th standard, even mathematics, at least in my school, mathematics was divided into two. So it was math one and math two. Um, what I want to make a submission here is, um, when the folks came into this class 11th, which is senior secondary, perhaps. So let's take it SS. Senior secondary is equal to second floor, which is equal to SS. Okay. So take senior secondary as second floor, take it as SS. Look into the mathematical stuff, whatever they have been teaching, or if they have changed, perhaps from 2001 onwards, which is very important. And since the scientific calculator, which I never like, I mean, I generally like to do a mathematical stuff here. I generally don't like to use any kind of instrument, because then human brain becomes redundant. It's not able to think. The cognitive ability only increases when you are putting your brain, pushing your brain to that power, where you're not using the scientific calculator, but you have the understanding how it works, and then you uh, go from there. So there's something called as actual science or something. There's some kind of subject at that point of time. So look into that. So what you need to do is look into 11th and 12th mathematics, then look into whatever math related courses were there in University of Delhi, from particularly from, I would rather say, let's take 2000 till 2007, anything to related to mathematics, because there were loads of courses. I remember, um, because I think the forms were free or something, and University of Delhi, I just filled in all the forms in all the colleges, whatever subjects were there, because I had PCBM. So that is basically physics. C is chemistry, B is biology, B PCBM, yeah, and then mathematics, and that was my fifth subject, and the English, yeah. So people who are weak in mathematics, they used to take physical education and stuff just to get some numbers. Okay, I think we are good for now. Let me just fetch some pattern application, then you can just go through that. Rather, I would rather say let's look into the silver stuff. It's on Amazon. Okay, I'm not able to d. Uh, 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 uh. Mobile mission. What the f? Okay. Anyhow, take this number and use it for carbon negative footprint. Okay, no pattern for today. Just do this. I'll also crunch some numbers, do the coding and stuff, and we'll get back. If you have any questions, send DM. And there are a lot of things which are happening right now. I'm getting a lot of DMs from Hong Kong, a lot of opportunity for cross licensing and stuff. But I need your support so we can just fast, speedy manner, so we can just get it done ASAP. Thank you for watching it out. Have a great day ahead.